Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday, May 11th Common Council meeting. Clerk will call the roll, please.
Nelson.
Here.
Hildebrand.
Here.
Matsdorf.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Odekirk. Hanson. Shilsky.
Here.
Gilson.
Here.
Let the record show we have a quorum. Next is the pledge. Please stand. The flags that are ordered on the left tonight.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda. The chair will entertain a motion.
I move we approve the consent agenda. Wilson. Second, Nelson.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will call the roll, please.
Hanson.
Yes.
Matsdorf.
Yes.
Shilsky.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Gilson.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Odekirk.
Yes.
Hildebrand.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. At this point, I would ask the indulgence of the council to modify the agenda and go down to item 8 at this point in time. Seeing no objections, item 8, resolution number 3, a resolution of the resolution of commendation for Fire Chief Dennis Fellows. Haven't said that too many times, so it feels good. Had to get the right words in there. I have a resolution of commendation for Chief Fellows, and if you will bear with me for a moment, I will try to read it with proper attention to respect you and what you've done for the city. Whereas Chief Dennis Fellows has faithfully served the Plymouth Fire Department for 39 years since 1982. He answered the calls for firefighters from the Plymouth Fire Department. And whereas Dennis held ranks of lieutenant, captain, assistant fire chief, and was sworn in as chief in 2015 through his retirement on May 21st, 21. And whereas Dennis, during his career, he was certified as an EMT in 1984, certified as a fire officer 2 in 2018, received the governor's certification of commendation, Star of Life for EMS service to the community in 2009. And whereas Dennis was a member of the County EMS Council, member of Wisconsin's State Fire Chiefs Association, past member Sheboygan County Fire Investigation Team, member of Wisconsin State Fire Inspectors Association, 30-year member of FTO with Plymouth Ambulance Service, member of Wisconsin State Firefighters Association, alumni of National Fire Academy, member of International Association of Fire Chiefs, member of Wisconsin Emergency Medical Association, member of Wisconsin Society of Emergency Medical Instructors. And whereas Dennis Fellows' contribution to municipal government through the Plymouth Fire Department for 39 years, 6 years as fire chief, is an indication of his pride in our state and our community. And whereas it is fitting and right that the Police and Fire Commission and the City of Plymouth recognize Chief Fellows for his years of service to this community. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Police and Fire Commission, the Mayor, the Common Council, on behalf of the citizens of the City of Plymouth, extend to Chief Dennis Fellows their deepest appreciation and gratitude for his dedication and service to the city of Plymouth, Plymouth Fire Department, and that a copy of this resolution be presented to him and also be spread upon the minutes of this meeting. Adopted this 11th day of May 2021. At this point, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the resolution as stated.
Frank Wolf,
Alder Hanson.
I move approval of the resolution number 3.
I second that, Hildebrand.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? It's kind of a unique and great privilege, I think, on all of the council members to extend their gratitude to Chief Fellows. And I will at this point allow the chief to say a couple words and break the rules a little bit, but certainly if you want to make a couple comments, we would certainly appreciate that. Chief Fellows.
Okay. I'd just like to say thank you and thank you. Thank you to my wife for letting me serve. And that's all I got to say.
Please keep standing, and Chief Tauschek, if you would also stand. And as I walk back there, I'll call for a roll call vote on such a prestigious occasion for Chief Fellows.
Hildebrand,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Matsdorf,
Yes.
Odekirk,
Yes.
Gilson,
Yes.
Shilsky,
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you, Chief. On behalf of the city, congratulations.
Thank you.
And may you enjoy your retirement and stay out of the hair of your wife. Put the camera.
And for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We now know what dedication is all about. And thank you for your family for allowing you to have the time to be with us too. It's appreciated. Now, going back to the order on the agenda, item 4, this is a common council appointment by the mayor, does not require council confirmation. The mayor hereby appoints to the Board of Review Alder Charlie Hanson. Moving on to item 5, audience comments. This is where the chair recognizes those that signed in to make comments to the council. We appreciate it when people do come in, and this is where you do the talking and we do the listening. No one signed in this evening, but we certainly encourage people to make known to the council anything that they have. Now, we're going to have kind of a unusual process here that's going to kind of get drawn out a little bit. So bear with me as we're going to have a lot of running together public hearings, and we'll try to walk through this as easy as possible. For the public hearing, items 7A, B, and C are related, and I'll ask our city administrator to kind of comment on all three at once, kind of in a collective process, but we will individually take a vote on each one because they're in order that we want to do things properly. So at this point, and item D is a separate one, and we'll handle that separately. So at this point, I declare a public hearing open for ordinance number 4, an ordinance amending the City of Plymouth, Wisconsin Comprehensive Plan land use map by changing property from planned neighborhood to general business. Now I asked Administrator Skiff for a brief summary on this and the succeeding one, and as he's doing it, he can then say, this is the second one, this is the third one. Otherwise, we'll be repeating this all night.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And for those of you that have a device in front of you hooked up to the WebEx, or if you want to look on the smaller screen there, I've put a certified survey map on the screen to show very roughly the first 3 items that the mayor referred to. And some of you are very familiar with this. This is County Road E on the right side of the screen, and then Douglas Drive kind of on the south side, Bishop Avenue on the left or the west side. Essentially what the certified survey map shows is when the Generations building was split off and built on Lot 2, which is, and I know it's probably hard to read, but the lot on the right. And then that same certified survey map also created Lot 1, which is on the left. The actions that we're requesting of you tonight, which did go to the Plan Commission about a month ago, are basically to change some of our official documents as they relate to these 2 lots. And so the first item that is 7A is that our comprehensive plan shows that 10 years ago or so when that comprehensive plan was done, this area was envisioned as a planned neighborhood, but the zoning that fits best, or the use that fits best for what Generations has envisioned for both of these lots now, falls better under general business. And so there's a practice outlined of how to change, how to amend that comprehensive plan to reflect that change, and that's essentially what the Plan Commission approved a month ago, and we're asking you to approve tonight. So as the mayor mentioned, there will be an opportunity for the public to speak on this. My predecessor left some very good directions on how this is to be done. One thing that he emphasized in that written direction is that this issue should really be handled fully before the rezoning request is taken under consideration, which is 7B. So I know that the mayor will follow that procedure, but I will, if I can, just make comment on B and C at the same time. Ordinance number 5, which is item 7B, is then a rezoning, and this would be of again, Lot 1, which is on the left or the west side of the certified survey map that you see. When property is annexed, it is put under the zoning classification of agriculture. The zoning classification that fits best for what Generations has envisioned here for Lot 1 is B2, or general business. And so the second item would be to have that hearing and then officially approve rezoning that, assuming that that is your wishes. And then item number C is a little unusual in that B1 zoning is fine for professional offices for the current Generations facility, but when they were hoping to have kind of a joint venture with lots 1 and 2, lot 1 really didn't fit well with that B1 zoning, professional offices, and so it's kind of a formality, I guess, but we're rezoning both lots to that B2 general business so that what Generations is doing on both parcels is consistent. So kind of an extra step there to rezone lot 2 as well to that general business. And again, Generations' current facility fits with either B1 or B2, but this makes the zoning of both of their lots consistent. So I hope that's clear. If there are questions, I'd be happy to attempt to answer them.
Good, thank you very much. So point, we are on the first public hearing as indicated, and at this point, the chair will recognize other people who want to speak to ordinance number 4 as part of our public hearing for the comprehensive plan use map by changing property from planned neighborhood to general business. Seeing no comments present, I declare the meeting closed. The chair hereby entertains a motion for ordinance number 4 as indicated.
I move ordinance number 4. Wilson. Approve. To approve. Move to approve.
Second, Nelson.
We have a first and a second to approve ordinance number 4 as indicated. Any discussion? Clerk will call the roll, please, on ordinance number 4.
Gilson,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Odekirk, Hildebrand,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Matsdorf,
Yes.
Shilsky,
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Moving on, I declare a public hearing open for ordinance number 5, an ordinance amending section 13-1-22 zoning map of the zoning code of the city of Plymouth, Wisconsin by changing property from its present zoning classification of A, agriculture, to B2, general business. You had the summary that Administrator Skiff had mentioned to you. At this point, the chair will recognize any other comments on ordinance number 5. Seeing none, I declare ordinance number 5 public hearing closed. The chair will entertain a motion for approval of ordinance number 5 as presented.
I move we approve ordinance number 5.
Second, Alder Hanson.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Clerk will call the roll on ordinance number 5, please.
Wilson,
Yes.
Shilsky,
Yes.
Matsdorf,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Hildebrand,
Yes.
Gilson,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Odekirk.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Moving on to item C, ordinance number 6, an ordinance amending section 13-1-22 zoning map of the zoning code of the city of Plymouth, Wisconsin by changing property from its present zoning classification of B1, business of professional offices, to B2, general business. We had the summary for the Administrator Skiff had mentioned on this. At this point, the chair will recognize any other comments. I declare a public hearing open for ordinance number 6. Any additional comments to be recognized by the chair? Seeing none, I declare public hearing on ordinance number 6 closed.
Mayor.
Chair will entertain a motion for approval of ordinance number 6. We're starting to get repetitive.
Mayor, I move that we approve ordinance number 6. Second, Hildebrand.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Clerk will call the roll, please.
Gilson,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Odekirk, Hildebrand,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Matsdorf,
Yes.
Shilsky,
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Now, moving on to ordinance number 7. An ordinance amending section 13-1-22 zoning map of the zoning code of the city of Plymouth, Wisconsin by changing property from its present zoning classification of HI, heavy industry, to LI Light Industry. I declare a public hearing open, and at this point, I'll recognize City Administrator Skiff for a brief summary, and then we'll open it up to anyone else who wants to speak on ordinance number 7.
Thank you again, Mr. Mayor. Again, on the screen, and I know it's not very large for those of you that are just looking on the monitor up front, but essentially this is East Clifford. You can see that immediately west of the railroad tracks on the south side of Clifford is a parcel, kind of an odd-shaped parcel owned in this map by Terra Bull Lands. The current zoning of heavy industrial, or HI, does allow the storage units that the owner wanted to put in, but what he discovered is that they are also allowed on the light industrial zoning classification, and the setbacks allow him to do more with the property. So he essentially asked that the property be rezoned for that purpose. I do have another drawing that shows what those setbacks are. Again, this went to the Planning Commission a month ago, and no concerns were brought forward. And so unless there are other concerns brought forward by the public or by the council tonight, this rezoning seems appropriate.
Thank you, Administrator Skiff. The chair will now recognize anyone else who wants to speak on this particular ordinance number 7 as indicated. Mr. Hanson.
The setback, can you explain the difference of the setback? I'm against this, but I just want to know about the setback difference.
And I apologize, I did not bring the city code down, but you can see on the, well, those of you close enough can see that the front yard setback, which is off of Clifford, is 25 feet. The side yard setbacks are 20 feet, and the rear setback, as shown, are 40. If you would like, I can either look up the zoning code quickly to see what it would have been for heavy industrial, or I can get that information to you after the fact. It's up to you.
Is it just a little difference of the setback is more now, or with this new proposal, or is it less?
Less setbacks so that the owner can do more with the property.
Thank you.
Mr. Nelson.
There's already a large number of storage units in that area, so I think that's an appropriate use of that land and blend in well with what's going on. I did notice they've already started clearing some of the trees and that on that lot, so pending approval, I'm sure.
Clean it up.
Clean it up, yeah.
Any other public comments? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. At this point, the chair will entertain a motion for approval on ordinance number 7 as indicated.
I move we approve ordinance number 7.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Clerk will call the roll, please.
Wilson,
Yes.
Shilsky,
Yes.
Matsdorf,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Hildebrand,
Yes.
Odekirk, Nelson,
Yes.
Gilson.
Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you for your indulgence on all of those. It gets a little monotonous at times, but the procedure we have to follow in order to continue the process with the developer now in a general business category on those 2 properties that are side by side. Moving on to item 9, new business. Item 8, approve additional salary range for fire chief. This was discussed earlier in the finance meeting, and the finance recommended approval to the council. I'll call on Finance Chairman Alder Nelson for a motion regarding the approval of additional salary range for fire chief.
Mayor, I move to approve the salary range of, it was $58,000 to $68,000 salary range for the fire chief as we recruit a new fire chief.
Second, Alder Hanson.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Clerk will call the roll, please.
Mansdorf,
Yes.
Odekirk,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Shilsky,
Yes.
Gilson,
Yes.
Hildebrand.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Moving on to item B, at this point, I would like to advise the council that this agenda item will be removed and placed on the next meeting agenda as a closed session item unless there's any objections from the floor. Hearing no objections, the order is therefore given to place this on the next council agenda as a closed item. Thank you very much. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move we adjourn, Wilson?
Second, Odekirk.
We have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.